Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. It's the Masaku.
And it's your boy, Double JB, swag switch in the building. You know what it is.
So I'm trying to be very formal with the microphone setup now. I'm trying to be very broadcast heavy, coming in with the news. And we got some crazy things to talk about today. But one thing I'm really looking forward to is seeing what's me and Swag Switch's top 5 wrestling games of all time. And again, when we're saying that topic of wrestling games, it can be from any genre. It can be from WWE, AEW, ECW. It doesn't matter where, but it's in the category of wrestling game. That is the main thing. It has to be a wrestling game of some sort.
Hold on. It was supposed to be top 5?
Top 10. Excuse me, top 10. Top 10. My bad. Top 10. That was a clinical
Okay.
error for me. Yep, top 10.
I was about to say, I was like, because that means I overachieved once
No,
again.
no. No, it's supposed to be top 10, top 10. And so with the idea of top 10 wrestling games of all time, it could be from anywhere. But as we go into the episode, we're gonna go into the wild world of wrestling segment. That is Swag Switcher. Please tell me, what is the wild and crazy things you've seen in the wrestling world today this week?
Well, to kind of do a little backtrack here on things that have been going on in wrestling, personally had to do some soul searching because, as we all know, the pipe bomb that happened with John Cena. Everybody has been saying, "Oh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's this, it's that, it's then the other." And I don't think, and I still don't think it is. I even went back to watch it to see, is there something that I'm missing? And no, I didn't miss anything. Um, it is out of all the people who I went back because, like, I thought I was the problem, and maybe I
Mhm.
still am. But, like, when with all the people who I went back to go watch them do their version of this pipe bomb and stuff like or their see their views on it, I do believe, I think they're Wrestle Talk, the 2
Yeah.
English guys.
Yeah.
I think out of everyone who I listen to, I think they align the most with my views on the pipe bomb. And it's the fact that, no, it is not the greatest promo ever. It's not even the
Mm.
greatest promo that has happened this year across the board.
Okay.
Okay, it wasn't. Listen, I will argue it till I'm blue in the face. Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay for the number one contenders match and also for the Owen Hart challenge
Mhm.
title. That promo that they had going into that match, flawless. It was
Okay.
flawless. It was perfection. It is that was the standard for promos this year. And no
Okay.
one is meeting that. All right. But or at least no one has been able to meet that yet. And I don't think anyone will as far as this year goes. But but the what they said, they really hit the nail on the head. And it's the fact that it was meant to be John Cena poking fun at CM Punk because it's John Cena saying like, "Hey, you did this pipe bomb thing. Look, I could do it too, and I can make people like it just as much as they liked the way you did it." It's the
Mm.
whole. It's because it really peers into their whole situation that they had where the roles are reversed type
Yeah.
situation. You know, as WWE has been put in this whole yin yang situation, and so
Yeah.
with that, I feel as if like out of everyone, like they're the ones that I think they kind of like they align with my feelings, though they actually still thought it was good. I thought it was meh, you know what I'm saying? Because
You
like,
thought it was
and another
complete meh. Okay.
and the other thing was, which they also touched on, is the fact that because I also agree, is not only is the fact that like Cena did not really say anything very pipe bomb worthy.
Nah,
Like
like
he
critical
didn't
take.
yeah, he didn't drop no like dirty laundry or anything like that. But I
Mhm.
think the other piece, which like as they said, I'm like, I think I fall into that category. since the very first pipe bombs, right? Since the
Mhm.
very first pipe bomb that he dropped over 10 years ago, how many pipe bombs have we had since then? Supposed pipe bombs. We've had plenty.
Uh, Karrion
We've had plenty.
I don't know if Karrion Cross is technically, that promo he did
But
recently
people
where
call it a pipe bomb.
yeah, because he
I
said
think
fuck,
Jungle
Paul
Boy
that.
dropped a
Yeah.
pipe. Jungle Boy dropped a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
The Bucks have dropped their own pipe these pipe bombs, or
Yeah.
what is considered
A shoot.
definition wise. Exactly.
It's
So it's
literally a
like
shoot.
ever since CM Punk's pipe bomb, there's been several pipe bombs that have happened since then. Where if you're going to drop a pipe bomb, it actually needs to explode.
I think that's the thing about wrestling is everybody wants the next drama, the next thing that gets people talking, and so you kind of push things in pipe bomb territory just for the sake of calling it a pipe bomb. Because like there have been multiple shoot interviews from people like Simon Gotch, I think it was Simon Gotch. The guy from what was that tag team where it was like back in the Stone Age?
No, wow, they were a
Simon,
Stone Age.
I'm just
You're talking about the Vaudevillains,
yeah, Villains,
but
yeah, homie.
but
That
yes, you're talking about Simon Gotch, Aiden
Yeah, so I
English.
was right. Okay, so I was right. But yeah, but everybody considers that shoot promo on Enzo Amore as like a very strong shoot. In our reality, that's the equivalent of a pipe bomb. You're shooting really hard on something and exposing the business or exposing that thing that's going on in the business. So it's like that to me, is of a level of a pipe bomb, but nobody calls it a pipe bomb because a pipe bomb, I guess, to people is when you're in on stage in front of people, you're saying the things, you're breaking the fourth wall, you're exposing the business in real time in front of people. There's no person that can cut your mic, cut your feed because you're saying too much. And that's where John Cena's failed because even when he said, yo, they didn't turn off my mic, it's like because you're not saying anything. You're not saying
However,
anything. Oh, go ahead.
there was a bit like when he said that part, there was actually a very small comment that he made that I did not catch the first time. That
Mhm,
was kind of funny because he was all like, because he did, when he did are y'all gonna cut to us like because like did y'all cut my mic? And it's
mm,
like they obviously didn't, and then he was like, of course they're not gonna cut my mic off. It's like I was like,
mm,
oh, okay, I missed that dig. I missed
yeah,
that.
that's why I was wondering if you saw that too, because that was a dig at just the whole nature of the pipe bomb itself. Because
Because
it's like,
they,
yeah, it's Cena.
cut off CM Punk, but they're not gonna cut me off. I'm John motherfucking Cena. So,
Yeah. That is a big
but
thing there.
yeah, I just wanted to touch back on that. The fact that I did go back and because I thought I was crazy. Like after I watched Busted Open, they're just like the whole pipe bomb
Yeah.
situation. I was like, oh my god, did I watch the same thing? Because Mark Henry, Bubba Ray out here, greatest thing ever. Call me if you think otherwise. I wanted to. I'm like, jeez,
Yeah, they were
what did I
definitely glazing
miss?
it. They definitely were glazing it, like, a
There
little
was
too much. They were glazing it.
there was more than glaze, fam. That shit was Krispy Kreme worthy, my guy. Like,
So you're
god
telling me they
damn,
were gargling everything. They
fam.
were
Like it
deep
was
throat,
Rhea's
gargling?
bathwater, brother. Like it was Rhea's bathwater. Like
Okay.
it was going hard. I was just like, which then I had to like then I watched a couple of other videos and like, yeah, no, everyone thought it was the most beautiful thing they've ever seen. Now, speaking of that particular thought process, I need to get your opinion
Okay.
because maybe I'm missing, and I know I think you're a bit about aligned as I am with this thought process, but
Yeah.
since when did Sasha Banks, Mercedes Monet become in the top two for greatest women's wrestlers in the universe right
Who
now.
the fuck said that
When?
shit?
Everybody, brother. Like, I don't
Oh
understand why
no, no,
there's so many people who are just like Sasha CEO is the greatest wrestler of all time right
no,
now.
no, no. I,
Greatest female wrestler of all time, almost sharing the spotlight with Io Shirai is what they're saying.
here's the thing. Charlotte Flair is gonna be considered a better candidate for that before Sasha ever even is put in the category. I'm sorry. As much as we don't like, well, you obviously is the queen to you, um, but everybody else would probably consider her as greatest of all time before even Sasha's even in the conversation. Okay. Sasha, it's honestly, I won't say a lackey, but if Charlotte is on the throne, Sasha is definitely one of the seconds in command or some people that's nearby as an attack
Mhm.
dog. You know, like I could not.
Listen, I would have put Bailey before Sasha Banks
Hell
personally.
fucking yes. Hell yes.
Like, no, she still beats Becky Lynch in my opinion, though. But I'm
Uh
not even gonna.
I'm sorry.
I'm not even gonna try. But you
Okay,
would
okay,
put
okay.
Becky Lynch.
No, 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 real quick, because if we're gonna talk about this, if we're talking about in the four horsemen category, all right. Now, if we're talking about the four horsewomen,
I'm specifically just talking about the four horsewomen
okay,
because I'm not bringing in people like Asuka and
yeah.
stuff
So,
like that.
so if
I'm
if
just
we're if we're doing that right now, Charlotte is still on top. It's gonna be Bailey, and I'm sorry, I will put Becky over Sasha. Right, I will put Becky over Sasha. Yeah, you can look at me that way all you want to. I'm putting
eh,
Becky over Sasha because here's the thing. At least Becky had character development. Sasha is the same fucking character. There's no development in her.
all right.
Can we at least agree on that? Like, because Becky, yeah, she became the man, and then at least when she left that and she became the Hollywood version of her, like she at least changed. She at least developed, and even now on this run, even though she's Intercontinental Champion, there is a story there. CEO is still doing that dumbass dance. Like I loved it when she was first doing it as the boss. But now, as she's doing it as CEO, it's starting to piss me off because it's like, bro,
So
like, why are you dancing?
an interesting observation I've seen people make about with her, right? Because as is being said, she left the WWE outside of there was that one issue that
Yeah,
caused her and Naomi to dip.
yeah,
But aside from that, she felt like as if she was not getting the opportunities she wanted.
yeah,
There was that whole thing where I guess she felt they people were saying that she was feeling like like Charlotte Flair was getting all of the attention and getting all of the titles and the opportunities and people like her wasn't getting anywhere. And so she left. Now, and she left because she wanted to have better opportunities and these, wanted to bring and make women's wrestling better. However,
she's not doing that.
which I easily can agree with this is the fact that in her push to try and get these better opportunities, she has made herself no better than early Charlotte Flair, comparably speaking.
I mean,
Because
yeah, yeah.
look at tell me, well, I won't say tell me, but I am going to say this to you. It is the fact that when you look at the AEW women's division, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan, AEW, has put so powerful of a focus on Mercedes Monet that the rest of the women's division has become an afterthought, a
Yeah,
full on afterthought.
it's literally Tony or nothing.
And the problem is they've kind of worked themselves into a bit of a shoe because when you look at this match right now, outside of the fact that they're doing a horrible job of promoting it, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that I will say on AEW, Sasha gave, comparatively speaking, a good promo. Was not great still,
You mean Monet?
but oh yeah, Monet. Sorry,
Yeah. I was like, when you said
CEO,
Sasha, I was just trying to confirm.
CEO. She gave probably one of her better promos on AEW. Or no, or was that AEW? Was that no? I think that was actually on Collision when she had that little promo. But like the only problem is the fact like I feel as if she's doing this a little too late in this feud because like at this point, like it's who cares? Which is
Yeah.
unfortunately a lot of stuff going on with AEW right now. It's like who's really caring? But
Yeah.
it's like Mercedes because apparently from what I've heard through the grapevine of looking at a couple of videos, apparently Mercedes Monet, listen, she's in her Hulk Hogan era right now. Like she has creative control over what she's doing right now.
I
You
will
know what happens when
agree, and
people get creative control.
I also feel like it's Kurt Angle with all the belts at one point too, because she has all the belts, and but Kurt Angle had like the X Division, the World Heavyweight, the Tag, like he had all the belts,
But
and
there's a way to do it. There's a
yeah,
way to do it where instead of literally burying all of the talent on AEW, which she has effectively done so,
yeah,
you know, like there's a way to make it at least credible where some of these other girls like mean something. Because like right now, with the way that this match goes, there's Tony Storm and then there's her. Now, unless on this next show, Mercedes drops that TBS title, which would be crazy. I don't think that's going to happen. But unless she drops this TBS title, it's like, what happens with this match? Because either Mercedes beats Tony Storm, and now Mercedes has effectively become the final boss, as she has 1,002 belts now, and so like obviously nobody can beat her, or her all of her credibility and all of this build to whatever they've been trying to build to for the last year with her, they're going to just flush it down the toilet so that Tony Storm gets a W that in a technical sense doesn't do anything for her.
So Tony doesn't need the win, but neither does Monet. I mean,
Exactly.
this is the thing about this match is it's the unfortunate that Monet is going to win. I feel that because I don't know what story they're gonna tell if she doesn't, because this will be like what her first loss because she hasn't lost
Yes.
anything. Yeah.
This will be
So
her first actual pinfall lose.
yeah.
Because she did lose a belt, one of her mini titles. She did lose one because somebody else got pinned in the match.
So you with that
It's
creative
one of
control
those New
thing,
Japan belts.
one of those creative control things that I guess is fucking it up is like she's never taken a pin. And then she's definitely on her Hulk Hogan era because it's like, yo, brother, I'm not taking a pin. Brother, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And that, but it hurts the business and it
And
hurts her
then,
legacy because that's what Charlotte is doing. Is that's what Charlotte is experiencing right now.
well,
Char-
Charlotte was in that. What? And that's the thing, though, because I can't say that Charlotte was burying the female talent in WWE. But then again, I got the rose colored glasses on. I don't see what other people see when it comes to Charlotte because they also still build her as still being beatable. So it's like
so
she was not she was built very strongly as a female competitor, but she was not built in a way where it seemed like nobody could win against her
it was more
type
so the
situation.
fact it was more so the fact that in every scenario where it was like, okay, Charlotte was gone and Charlotte would come back, she was immediately put on the title picture and she was immediately given the belt. It was like as if also at the same time, Charlotte never had any character development. She's never really experienced anything that would make her a relatable character or a character who's grown. Like, perfect example, look at Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page was pretty much a cookie cut, I'm the baby face of this company, right? And then they put him in the
Mhm.
Dark Order. That situation made him have character development. The situation with him in uh um Omega, where they were friends, and the whole glass of milk, we all know that that's his thing. Like, just small little increments that help you understand the character that is Hangman, and then his descension to madness with the whole Swerve situation. Like, there's character development. Name me one thing Charlotte has went through that's given me character development.
So I'm glad you gave me that opportunity to retort because
Okay.
when Charlotte Flair was in NXT, right?
Mhm.
Before she became what she is now, or even close to it, right?
Mhm.
She kind of had like she started out as like with this little kind of like girl squad type situation, which is where her and Sasha Banks were actually, originally friends. And I
Yeah.
do believe Summer Adams or Summer was part of that squad as well, type
Yeah.
thing. But Charlotte used to be like a beautiful white cheeked baby face.
Yeah.
Okay. She was a baby face then, right? And that was before she became as where she is now. She was, the white hot baby face, doing it for the fans, high-fiving people, signing autographs and all this other stuff. She was that baby face, right? But she went through this arc of discovering that she's like, I'm good to no, I'm damn good. She went from if we are going to do it with Flair to I'm the child of Ric Flair, who is the greatest of all time. So I should be the greatest of all time too. And she had that small little area where it was like she was with her dad, who was her manager, and this, that, and the other. And then she had that moment where she's like, "No, I don't need my dad anymore. I can be a Flair on my own." And then it was at that point where she began her ascension to queenhood, which is where she's at right now. She has gone through her ascension to queenhood. Now, where she's currently at is the fact of she's in this space where she's realizing that after being gone for that long, she's come back she's she has fallen from her queenhood and she's having a hard time wrapping her brain around that fact, which is I think what this whole situation with Alexa Bliss that's happening right now, because Alexa Bliss is all like, Charlotte, you need some fucking help, and Charlotte's like, no, 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 I'm a queen, I got this, when she does it, kind of thing. And right now, we're in the process of starting to see this interesting switch with her and Alexa Bliss right now, which what we're waiting to see where that's going to end up turning out later on. But like, that is her change. And it's like one of those things where her development that she was that young kid that was an upstart at NXT who became undeniably great. And then she went to the point she became so great that she realized that I don't need anybody else's help because I'm so great. I am a queen type thing. Like she did have that point where she had her jester, which was goddamn Dana Brooks for a hot minute, but she dropped her after a bit, and she's all like, "Yeah, no, I'm the shit." You know what I'm saying? And that's her space right now. Her character development was her finding her way to be the queen that she now claims that she is. And now she's in a space where she still sees herself as that queen, but the playing field has changed, and now she's trying to figure her way through that because she still sees herself as a queen, but she has not proven that statement just yet. And so that's where that particular bit is. Now, with what you were saying about with the character development and everything, it's like not all character development means they gotta completely change who they are. Look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I'm saying?
He's
He
also
had
had
his
character development though. That before you go into that, I wanted to get into the fact of, and we can go back to Stone Cold, but I want you to realize in that time frame that you just gave with Charlotte Flair, you basically have told that she's a nepto baby who one grew up to, okay, I'm Charlotte Flair's daughter. Let me showcase that. Okay, I'm Charlotte Flair's daughter now. All right, I'm actually winning titles. Oh yeah, I'm Charlotte Flair. I'm Ric Flair's daughter. I have him with me now. And oh, I don't need my dad anymore. Okay, I'm Charlotte Flair. There was more so a trajectory of her being basically uh um basically like her dad and then making her own lane. But what I'm talking about with fans and like myself want to see is, where are her flaws? She has no flaws. And that's the thing that makes fans annoyed by, she doesn't have any character flaws that showcase she's human, she's just this. And every time she comes back or any situation that involves a title match, she just wins. And people get annoyed by that because you're now at a point where anytime Charlotte's gone for any reason, she comes back and she's immediately thrown in the title picture. And there's
Are
no
you
develop.
expecting her to are you expecting her to come back and be thrown in the mid card?
No, no, no. We're not saying that, but we're talking about, when we say title picture, is we're talking about immediately, like her
Because she's a
coming
main
back.
event player.
She is, but she's not getting a chance to grind for it. You know how with Stone Cold, he at least grinds for getting the title back if he loses it. Like he might have to do a Royal Rumble, he might have to go through a gauntlet, he might have to do something that gives him a grind. Charlotte Flair comes back, she spares somebody, and she's in the next pay-per-view match in the heavyweight title picture. Like that's the difference between hers, and so fans don't get to see her rise. It's just you come back, you're immediately in the next match. You know what I'm
The
saying?
reason is well, that's because those fans did not watch her in NXT. She had to rise in NXT. And it's one of
Oh,
those things
but
where
you're
even when she
correct.
came to the
Notice how
main
notice wait, but
roster,
notice how you're saying it's in NXT. When she gets to main roster, anytime she steps down for 2 seconds, it's never to do something else. It's like, okay, she got injured, she's gone. But if she comes back and is immediately in front of whoever's champion. And it's like, well, you got my belt, so I'm going to get it back now. And literally all she does is get it back. And then when she loses
now
it, she goes on
another
a
thing.
hiatus and comes back and get it back.
Now I can also defend that particular bit being the fact that back in those times, that was all that there was. There was only that title. There's several titles now, kind of thing. Now, sure, she came back and she was able to get herself into the main event slot in the main event picture. I mean, technically, the Royal Rumble is a grind per se, but she lost. And now she's in a space where she is grinding at this point. But it's one of those things where because of the fact, and I would say this for anyone who is a main event player per se, whether if we like it or not, because same kind of thing goes with John Cena. Is like when you're as good as what Charlotte Flair is, it's like, of course you're going to come back and be put right in the main event scene, like because you're greatness.
And
You're
that and
that
just
damn good.
and that's the same thing with John Cena too. So remember how you didn't at one point like John Cena because he's like, oh, John Cena lulls. It's the same thing with Charlotte. But why is it okay if Charlotte does it but Cena can't?
I don't think I've ever said that John Cena can't. I just said that I didn't like the fact that John Cena did. But
Okay, but that's what the fans are at right now with Charlotte. But you're like, but that's greatness. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's okay,
because
Charlotte can do it, but Cena can't.
not that's all right. I mean, I guess you can say that if that's how you want to go with it. But it's like with what you were saying with the whole character development type
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
situation, I can't agree with you at the fact that she has not had development with her character. kind of thing.
What are some of Charlotte's flaws then? What is Charlotte's flaws as a human besides her being constantly a champion? Because like you
Her
could
f her biggest flaw is the fact she sees herself as being that great. When you see yourself as being this queen and whatnot, of course that goes straight to your head. Now, of course, if it's a situation of, as my Dolph Ziggler shirt says, it's not, if you can back it up, it's not called bragging. Then at that point, I guess it just sucks to suck that you're not a better wrestler than Charlotte Flair is, type thing. Or in other cases, it just sucks to suck that you're not being booked like Charlotte Flair is. But it's like,
a perfect example of that too could be the whole title switch thing between her and Becky and like throwing the belt at each other. Like the flaw is like you saying like I am a queen, you should respect me as a queen. But I will agree that right now we could be potentially seeing that development in her of her coming back and realizing that the playing field has changed. You know what I'm saying? She's not as glorified as she was because we have new people to glorify. Like obviously the Tiffy Charlotte Flair match was really hype for me because it's like, wow, this is Charlotte being now put down into a pedestal of you are not as queen as you used to be. There's a new queen or there's a new thing here. And I hate to do this, but it's literally that. It's the old hotness being faced with the new hotness. Because
I
Tiffany
mean, it's
is technically
true.
that new hot. Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. That's the story of that WrestleMania match to me that made it great because that was the development of realizing you are not that hotness anymore against the new hotness. But again,
But the fact that you got to get, and it's like, once again, I mean, I can understand why people hated it, but at the end of the day, Charlotte Flair not only was that hotness, but like she looked like she should be.
yeah, and I think with the buildup of that match is like where the shift changed for me because when first Charlotte came and got that Royal Rumble win, fans were pissed. But then whenever we got that Tiffy and Charlotte Flair buildup, that became the match of the fucking pay-per-view. You had to see that shit because you were like, yo, the buildup was crazy. I mean, I remember calling you and saying, yo, bro, did you see the fight? Like, yo, did you see that? Like crazy fight between the two because that shit felt real. And that's the thing I think with wrestling fans, as we enjoy storytelling, we enjoy, okay, obviously you give us this monster baby face, this monster heel. Like we understand the program that is wrestling. And then there's those moments in wrestling that you want to be real. You want it to be relatable. You want it to be where I can feel what's going on, like Johnny Wrestling. Whenever in NXT, you felt those moments. And this Charlotte and Tiffy moment was felt. But in every program before that with Charlotte, you couldn't feel that. It was just like Cena lull, Charlotte lull. And I
I
think
don't
that's
I don't agree with that
okay.
completely because I don't. For me, with Charlotte Flair, it did not. Maybe the only reasons why I would say that people probably felt like it was a certain way is because after a while, it almost felt like there was a pattern. But then, as soon as
Yeah.
there was a pattern, she would lose the belt. Once again, she did not hold the belt all those time for a super
No, no,
duper
no.
duper long time. She dropped it plenty.
There
It
was that.
passed around different people. But the
Yeah.
thing is the fact that, uh, comparably speaking, which when it came to John Cena and Charlotte Flair, to me, John Cena felt purposely predictable.
Okay.
Purposely predictable. Like it actually felt like, oh, John Cena, lol, of course he's gonna win.
But so
And
you
then you
didn't feel
watch the
that way with
matches.
Charlotte sometimes though? You didn't feel that was predictable sometimes with Charlotte?
No, I didn't, because with the women that they had at that time, to me, it seemed like, well, it seemed like there'd been more times where I would have figured that I thought Charlotte was going to lose more times than she won. The only reasons why I ever would be like, oh yeah, of course Charlotte's going to win, because number one, Charlotte's my girl. Plus, I like stirring the pot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like to,
I do
especially
too,
when
but
it's somebody's favorite person. But at the same time, I was as surprised as everybody else when Charlotte would win, type thing. I didn't know
I'm
Charlotte
gonna disagree
was
with
going to
that one.
beat with was going to beat Asuka. I would have never thought that shit. That
Okay,
shit
yeah,
was
that
I would have never thought. But then
that
it's
yeah,
like the
I will agree.
people.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, though, when some of the matches that she had, and it's all like, it's like I feel it could go either way, but I feel like Charlotte's going to win. At that point, for me, to a certain degree, it's like she's going to win because Charlotte's just that good. It's not like she did not have fantastic matches where it looked like, at least they made it seem like she was going to lose. Unlike with like John Cena's, it was like, John Cena formula. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
this is why I love about us, because we can have these debates and like it could be completely like, because like our views on wrestling is different. Like, I mean, we are wrestling fans. What we see in the product is going to be one way, and what we see as in our vision of wrestling is going to be completely different. Like, I enjoy deathmatch wrestling. You're not really a huge fan of it. There's certain characters that we like, there's certain characters that we love. That's the beautiful thing about wrestling. And one of the reasons why I made us create this podcast, because it's shit like that. But I come to say this is that you were absolutely correct with the greatness standpoint of Charlotte. That was one of the reasons why she was my queen too. I enjoyed the fact that she was just that damn good in the ring. It was just her match buildups just didn't hit. Like, but the thing I want to get at to kind of conclude it, because we completely derailed. We completely
you
derailed.
did it, not me.
Well, I mean, because there were certain
I feel
parts.
you should know that, like, if you're gonna come at someone who is like my people's, you need to have fucking timestamps, dates, like
Availability.
you need to come hard if you're going to try and denounce someone who is the name that I'm very like. I wish you would come up
Denouncing
in
it.
here. Oh
I'm
no,
not
I'm
denouncing
just
it.
saying
Yeah.
talk some any slight ill will. Try coming here and do some shit like that with Kane. I,
Oh no, nah, nigga, I can't. I mean, same thing with Penta. It's same thing as well. I mean, we're good. That's what I'm saying. That's the beautiful thing about wrestling. We will debate the shit that we are passionate about, the characters that we love, the things that we see, because they mean something to us. And that's why I always bring, when you brought up the general public thing about Sasha, because it all stemmed from a Sasha conversation. It's the level of how we can start a conversation about Sasha and exposing certain things, and all of a sudden we're here about Charlotte. Like, that's the beauty behind being passionate about something like wrestling. Is there's so much lore, there's so much history, so much connection to what we see as the thing that is wrestling. We all have a view of what wrestling should be. So to conclude, I'm excited about seeing what this development with her and Alexa Bliss is going to be. Sasha should not even be in the category of, I would say, top she's like in top 20, maybe top 20,
top 20. Yeah,
top
I'd
20.
agree.
Yeah, I don't know
And
where in top 20, but not top 5 right now, not top 5.
which people are putting her higher.
Yeah, like you said, top 2. Yeah.
Literally, people want to say that Sasha Banks and Io Sky are number one and number two, and they're apparently interchangeable. And no,
Man, that's you know what? That would be a good topic for next episode, is who are our top 10 favorite women wrestlers of all time. I feel like that would be a good, cuz I'm curious to hear yours now. Cuz
I I wouldn't
I'm
say our
trying to
top
think.
10 women's wrestler of all time. I would say the better question is, as it currently stands, who do we think is the best women's wrestler
Okay.
at the moment?
Current
I think that
current.
would be because
Yeah.
that's what people are saying, that right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they are kind of saying of all time, but like but at the same time, I'm like, all time, like,
Mm,
and just looking
yeah.
at the women's wrestling scape as it is at this very moment,
Who is the best
better than
currently? Yeah.
yeah, like who is the best currently? And they're putting Sasha Banks and Io Sky at the top, tippy top.
Io Sky as a wrestler, I'm because I'm just gonna leave it at this. Io Sky is a great wrestler, great person. I've met her a couple of times. Um, but we'll definitely dive into that. Who's because I feel like that's gonna be a whole episode conversation. We're not even gonna have a
Yeah,
wild week of
yeah,
wrestling. So
that's
let's just save that shit. Let's save that shit. Uh,
we will parking lot brawl that one there.
yeah, yeah, parking lot brawl. What was it? What was that match? It was with Ken Shamrock versus uh Steve Blackman. It was the with they were fighting in that parking lot with the cars and shit. Uh
I mean, those were usually called parking lot brawl matches,
yeah,
or
but it was a specific name for that one. I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna come
if
back
it
to
is
that.
a
Either way,
parking lot brawl, I don't know. But
it's I want to say it's Lions Den or some shit like that. Anyway, besides the point. Um
yeah, that's different.
let's go into the next portion of what the wild week of wrestling is.
But
What else
yeah,
is going on?
so outside of what we just got done talking about, I'm a lightly skim over the like SmackDown, Raw. NXT was actually from what I remember was kind of sort of it was actually a little lackluster,
Hold
strangely
on, hold
enough.
on, hold on, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you with this now, but I'm curious. What did you think about that Punk segment at SmackDown?
It was better than the pipe bomb, I'll give it that.
Goddamn right it was.
It was it was fun. As where the pipe bomb came off very hokey pokey and annoying, this this was fun. CM Punk getting his lit back, CM Punk going in and doing the full John Cena rapping at him and everything, doing his little battle rap thing. That was I ain't gonna lie, that was solid.
Can we
That
talk about
was
his fucking fit though? The fit was fire. The fit was fucking fire. You
uh,
can't tell me you would not rock that fit.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I could, because I actually got some baseball. As a matter of fact, I have a Cubs baseball jersey. So
Bro,
like
the
I
fit
could
was
do a
fire.
new I could do the new version because like I have like the new like the red, white, and blue Cubs baseball button up. So like hell, I could
I
do it
still
with
got
the
my
nerd
baseball
shit.
jerseys. I still got my
I still
baseball
got a
jerseys too.
well, these ones I got from the old spot that I used to work at. But
Mm,
I also recently bought myself a which now I have to start watching it now that I own this piece of merchandise because I'm a really big pretender of if I'm going to buy the merchandise, I gotta know about what it is that I'm wearing.
yeah,
Sports
yeah,
is a little sports is a slight exception
yeah,
only because I used to work for a sports company, and so I used to wear the sports stuff that they would just give us because they just had it lying around kind of thing. But
yeah.
I got a Straw Hat Crew uh baseball jersey.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like it's got like the straw hat symbol and everything. It's got a picture of Luffy on it, and it says I think it says Luffy on the back, and it's got a like number like double zeros or something.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool shirt. And so I was all like, hell yeah. I actually those who follow me on Instagram, which is Swag Switcher
Swag
Instagram
switcher.
at Swag Switcher,
You know the homie shit.
you'll actually see me wearing it. But yeah, no, like I thought it was like I said, it was it was better it was better than the pipe bomb, and because of what he was doing, it's like, okay, see, this it feels more better executed because he is now in return giving John Cena the receipt of saying like, oh, so you think you're seeing Punk doing a pipe bomb? Well, I'm going to be John Cena and I'm gonna spit some bars.
My nigga had bars though, bro. The X line, he's like, yo, I'd be a little pissed off if my job hired my ex too. Nigga, I said, oh shit.
And in his ending line where he say, "I'm Kendrick and I'm gonna make you my Drake." What?
Yes, I said, "Oh, did be who wrote these bars though? I want to know who wrote these bars because some of them were really good." I was like, it couldn't have been Cena. I mean, I don't
Oh,
know. I was like, who wrote these bars?
it was yeah, it was some good stuff with that one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
since we're
He
talking
did
about
stumble a little bit, but yeah,
which yeah, but
yeah.
I let it
Still
slide.
cool. Yeah, I let it slide. It was his first time. I let it
I
slide.
let it slide.
I was like,
I let it
ah.
slide. But I'm very upset about what they did to the White Six. The whole tag team division had to come out there and screw up the tag team match against the Street Profits. I'm like, that's crazy. However, that being said,
I did fuck with that.
I want to give a shout out to the SmackDown tag team division. And I think they're being completely disrespected right now because the Raw tag team division is absolutely ass. The SmackDown
Yes,
tag team division is absolutely fire, and nobody wants to treat them with the respect. They should have been in the Saudi Arabia pay per view doing something. They should have been at the WrestleMania pay per view doing something. The fact that they had, instead of being on WrestleMania, that was a 2 night affair, might we say, and they couldn't find a way to put the other tag team titles on that match. And the
let him
fact
cook.
that instead they decided to have a TLC match on free TV.
Let him cook now.
That TLC match with the what was it? It was the Profits, DIY, and the Machine Guns,
I said, let him cook.
bro. That match would have beat out WrestleMania. Period. That would have stole the WrestleMania show if they would have put it on WrestleMania. And maybe that's why they did, because they didn't want the boys to get that shine.
He's
But
cooking.
the Street Profits needs to have better respect put on their name. I'm just saying. They are out here squandering with them. I mean, sure, I guess it's cool if y'all just want them to be great on SmackDown, even though they have pay-per-view worthy matches all the time. Hell, this match that they had on SmackDown, where the whole locker room came out there and interfered, that's pay-per-view worthy. Like, what are they doing?
Can we find out who is the producer for those shits? Because like depending on who that producer is, because obviously they produce a segment, they need to just do everything tag team division. Because yeah, like you said before, Raw tag teams division is ass. I mean, shit, they're literally about to put the Usos back together just to revive the tag team division in Raw because like I don't even think the Usos can fix that. Like War Raiders, no. New Day, Alpha
They're not. They're
Academy.
not. They're not doing anything. And then
Who
like
else
the
is
Alpha
there?
Academy,
Those are the only fucking.
they don't
That
have
tells
much
you
right
how
now
bad that division is because you don't know the fuck
because they don't got. They don't
Phantasmo.
have.
They got the AAA belts, bro. Like that's how it is right now.
And they're not. And they're not even. They're not even Raw tag team. They was originally a tag team on SmackDown. Like
No,
SmackDown is the place where tag team wrestling is doing the thing. But
it's
El
TNA.
Phantasmo was all like, "Hey,
TNA all over again.
damn, don't do that. Don't do
TNA
that."
all over again, bro. Or TNA was nonstop action. SmackDown's tag division is nonstop action. I mean, that
I
man
mean, it really
cooked.
is though.
He cooked, though. You know what I'm saying? He's facts. He's facts.
But
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to put down
freaking.
the no mercy. Know your role is cooking because that was a that was a cooking segment, bro.
Listen, I'm just. It bothers me, and
Yes,
like I because when someone needs to do better, I'm not going to discriminate. It's just too bad that it's always AEW who really needs to do better. But
segment wise,
which
wrestling, like you told me recently, it was good.
listen, this past AEW has some of the best wrestling I've seen in a minute.
Mm,
But fuck the segments, like
mm.
fuck the segments. Like
Yeah,
that's why I wasn't even really even going to talk about it. Like I mean, great wrestling, Freaking Mercedes out here putting her boyfriend over, getting them in these main event matches.
Can we talk about I want to talk about this again because I brought it up to Matt. How about Adam Pearce's bad parenting techniques? Because
Oh
he
my god.
rewarded bad behavior again, which brought the Saudi match between Raquel and Rhea Ripley.
Well, now I will say, I can't say, I mean, yes, but at least this time it wasn't Rhea Ripley who because he likes to favor her. He still kind of
I
does
mean,
give her
it's Rhea
whatever she
Ripley.
asks. He's got to be drinking the bathwater because
You
he
you saying
definitely
no to
gives
Rhea
her.
Ripley though?
Am I saying no? That's not what's up for discussion right now. What I'm saying is,
I'm just
what
saying
I'm
though.
saying
I'm
is,
just saying though. If Rhea Ripley says that, well, I don't know if you like the phrase "tatty," but like she comes up to you and be like, "I want something," and you know it's Rhea Ripley. Is you really saying no to Rhea Ripley though? You be like, all right, you know what? Let
listen,
me make it happen
listen.
for you, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Let me make it happen for you. I look at the black lipstick. She hits me with that smile. I'm cooked. It's like, damn, you know what? I
He's like,
can't really
I
say
am
no to my
cooked.
baby. You know what I'm saying?
I
She don't know
I
we boyfriend
am
and girlfriend, but we is together.
completely fried.
We trying to.
Completely fried. Oh my gosh, bro.
And you ain't
I
saying no to that
can
woman. I'm sorry, bro.
I cannot. I mean, you're right, but still, like, goddamn, like, don't. I'm trying to make a point. I'm
No, I get it. I get it.
trying to make a
I
point
get it.
here.
I get it. I
But
get it.
but in this particular case, though, at least Rio was in the right this time because number
Yeah.
one, it was Raquel who came out there and was all like, hey, like because they all started it first. Like they screwed Rhea, then Rhea
Yeah.
screwed them, and then she called Rhea out. Excuse me, she called Rhea out, and then they throw hands, and then Roxanne gets in there and gets her put through a table, a slip gym table.
Roxanne. Roxanne.
But but yeah, and also when it came to Raw, the other thing that I did want to also put in there, Gunther comes out and he gives his promo, his retort towards
Oh,
Goldberg.
bro. Oh, bro.
And I really hope that he's not giving us false promises again. Because he came out there and he's got his chest out and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, you know. You better hug your family and kiss your wife and all this, that, and the other. Like,
Are we now classifying this as a Jey Uso promo? Did he hit you with a Jey Uso promo to you?
geez, I don't want to call it that. That's kind of rude.
We're gonna start calling him that because that did he pull a J? Did he give you false
Well,
promises?
we're gonna find out because I mean, he came out there and he was talking some really big, big shit. Like he came out there like, nah, we're on Gunther time right now, fam. I'm gonna stomp you out and I'm gonna choke you out and I'm gonna send you back home,
But it's
regardless of how old your
Gunther
ass is.
though. Like he's not playing about that shit. Okay.
I hope he's
I
not,
don't
because
I don't think
Gunther said this before.
hey yo, after what he did to Jimmy, I'll believe anything that motherfucker says, bro.
But that's the thing though. He did what he did to Jimmy, right? And then after he did that, he talked that big ish to Pat McAfee, and then he leaves Pat McAfee with a
But he is sports analyst. He ain't really a wrestler, my nigga. Like, let's be real, bro. Like, you gotta give
I don't
Pat McAfee some credit, though. Like, I get it what you
I don't
saying, oh, but
care about
like,
how good Pat McAfee did in that match. All right, sure,
I didn't
he
say he was
held
good.
his own, but Gunther made it sound like he's going to put him 6 feet under, and instead he took him out for ice cream. Okay,
I get it. I get it. It's just like
I
it's
just hate it when someone talks the big game and then does not follow it up.
but
If
that's the
I'm gonna
selling of
go out
wrestling.
there, but see in the past,
I know, I know,
people.
I know, I know, I know. I know what you go. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying in the past, people would say, "I'm gonna do this to you and I'm gonna do that to you," and then they do it, or they get jumped and they get beat, and that's why they can't do it. There's no excuse why Gunther has not been able to do the things that he said he was going to do because he's been winning.
That's going back to the beautiful era that is the Attitude Era. Because when Stone Cold said, "I'm gonna stomp a mud hole in your ass, I'm gonna walk it dry, or if I'm gonna run you over with my fucking truck or whatever," that nigga did that shit.
He
That
said
nigga
what he meant.
stood by every fucking thing he said.
Said what
Okay.
he meant what he said.
Yeah, nigga, you was getting
And
that shit.
he was going to attempt to follow through with it as much as possible.
Yes. I mean,
But now
shit.
we out here, we just saying like, oh, it'd be one thing if they was like the shit eating heel, where they're like,
Mm-mm.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you till the sun goes down and back and blah blah blah. But then like when the match happens, they run and cower. But even they have some people on the back end who's going to come in, like what Seth Rollins has with his goons, and at least they're going to attempt to beat the shit out of you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it'd be better if he attempted as opposed to. It'd be better if he said it and attempted as opposed to saying it and then completely falling short. And that's what I hate.
I get it. I get it's one of them situations where you want homie to stand on business, but it's also Goldberg. The nigga 59 almost now. Like, let's be real, he can't really destroy that nigga the way you want him to.
I wish he would. As far as I'm concerned, motherfucker, he better. Or Goldberg's walking out of there with the belt. That's just what's
God
going.
damn.
That's just what's going on.
Oh boy.
Night of Champions.
Yes. Tongaloa. Sorry, I don't I went ahead. You bring up what you want.
Man, yeah, I like how it's like Night of Champions. Tongaloa. You all right? You right? Listen,
That was kind of the
my
only highlight,
roommate,
the fact he came up.
my roommate was explaining to me almost verbatim what happened in the pay-per-view. And I was like, but why would they do that? It doesn't make it. And then it happened. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I guess it does. Because I literally we was talking about it. It's funny because like I didn't know. Maybe he knew a little bit better. Then again, he also he literally knows these people. So it's like he's wrestled with them while they were on the Indies. But it's like I'm over here. I'm just like I didn't see it. I'm like, why would they just now? Why would they want to bring him up now out of nowhere type deal? And he explained it to me, and I was like, I don't know, that's a bit of a stretch because there's been like no reason, no lead up, and then boom, it happens, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll sit back.
So
You know?
what I hate is why can they not just keep it at Hikaleo, bro? Like everybody has to have a Tonga. Like, all right, I get it, family shit. But I remember I called you after it happened because me and Matt, we were literally sitting here. We just brought up Hikaleo. I swear to God. We literally just brought up Hikaleo because we were watching the match. And I remember saying something about like Jacob looks so much like Haku that fucking I was like, sometimes I have moments of like, that's not Haku. That's Jacob. Like that he's literally that nigga. And then how the fact that I thought this was gonna be easy dub for Jacob. Then also you got these people coming in. You got JC, who's also Filipino, by the way. You got JC, and then you have which Tonga came back.
It
Um,
was the bigger one.
can't remember his name right now. But he shows up, and then you have Hikaleo, who's which Russell Talk made a joke about it is because he's tall as hell. Uh, uh, Tonga or Tonga. No, it's Tonga is the other one. It's Tala Tonga. I think it's what they
Mhm.
call him because he's tall as hell.
It's the tallest. Oh wow, the tallest.
That's what they were saying, right? It was like he's tall as hell.
Wow.
So it's Tala Tonga. Because he's tall as shit. So, because he's like 7'1", maybe I don't know, but he's tall as hell. And
Yeah, he's
I
tall.
called you and I said, "Yo, this is proven that Jacob is Brawly level threat." to the family, because to the wrestling community, we are aware that Samoans are some of the toughest motherfuckers in the wrestling business. You do not headbutt a Samoan. Only Samoans do Samoan drops. So we are aware that Samoans are a different breed in wrestling. So you're telling me it took 4 Samoans to take down 1 Samoan? That is fucking brawly level of power, okay? Brawly level. And one of them was 7 feet, nigga. So this is brawly level category of takedown. That should tell you Jacob is that motherfucking guy. All right. You don't play with Jacob, dog.
Yeah, no, he really is. Get in
Mm-hmm.
where you fit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Just
Also,
like
4 letters, 1 word. Stop. I'm sorry, I'll never get
I
over that.
actually did find it interesting that he absolutely was not there. Just a little
Yeah,
bit. It's like,
yeah,
but
you would think.
honestly, he didn't have a reason to be there.
Yeah, unless he was interfering in
Flair,
that match. But continue on. I
which he
interrupted again.
definitely wasn't. Nah. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to really like talk with Night Champions. Like, I mean,
Storm.
Cody Cody Rhodes is the king. Storm beat Oscar. Like,
Oh my God, Jay Cargill is so goddamn. We could already agree she's so goddamn fine, but it's crazy how she's still so goddamn fine after wrestling. The makeup still holding up. She's still just like, what in the? How is you this goddamn fine?
I
Can,
mean,
can we agree that we probably? I don't know if you marked out to the Storm entrance, but it was just like,
I
Marvel, you
liked it.
see this, right? Marvel, you see this, right? Just go ahead, make it happen.
I mean, I did like this. I did like it. I did like her whole Storm getup. The Storm getup was cool and whatnot. But like, so I was in an unfortunate space because it's like before I knew who all was going to be here, I already knew Jade was winning this.
Oh yeah, we knew
Okay,
that. Unfortunately for Oscar, Oscar literally does her move, which is the butt bomb, and that's literally a setup for her finisher. It was like, all right, cool, whatever.
but it was like watching Oscar have to do the job to Jade. It hurt a little bit
Oh, it did, yeah, because she just came
because
back.
because I'm over here watching this, and it's like because she's been gone for so long, I forgot how much I like Oscar. And then, like, as I'm watching her, I'm just all like, damn, why do they have to do this to me like this? But it is what it is.
Oscar is truly wifey. I don't care. I mean, as fine as everybody is, Oscar is wifey. Like, you can say queen, whatever. You can say what that is wifey, hands
Listen,
down.
nobody's right. No one's ready for Oscar, and no one should be.
I'm probably gonna
But
make you
apparently,
do
Jade
a
was.
I'm gonna probably make you do just to fuck with you. I'm gonna have to do a marry, kill, uh, thing with the roster, just to see where you at. I want to know now. I want to see where you at.
Oh,
I'm gonna do it in the future though. I'm gonna do it in the future though.
terrible game. Terrible
It is a terrible game, but I want to see how it'd be good content. It'd be good content just to fuck with each other. Who's
Rhea
married?
wins the street fight. I actually did not realize from the story that they told like how deep her and like those two were with each
I didn't
other.
know that
So
either.
that
Yeah,
was
that
a
was
very
really dope.
interesting thing to see like
Mhm.
how close they was and how deep the friendship was, and now they're like about to rip each other apart because of
It
a
should
little
have been a
over this organ.
WrestleMania match with that. Like that kind of build. I really feel like that could have been a Mania match if you had that much history.
The only reason, I mean, as much as it would be, Raquel Rodriguez has not done anything WrestleMania worthy per
Yeah.
se.
I just
Like,
feel like they pulled
I
the
mean,
trigger too soon with that.
she's getting closer. And I will agree. For them to like go all out and give this backstory about like how deep their friendship runs, I'm like, y'all
Mhm,
could have saved. You
mhm.
should have saved that for something bigger than Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
which sounds crazy for me to say, but let's be honest, you should have saved that for the states. But
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of
we're
things you
getting
said, like,
Arab money out here.
"We getting there, man." But, I really feel there was a lot of things, even the fucking, showing of Tala should have been saved in the States because people would have knew
I
who the fuck that was.
I agree. The Sami Zayn and Karrion Cross match was,
Didn't let him
it was a
speak. He
match.
should be an ambassador. You should have let him spoke. But go ahead.
It was a match. Nothing too crazy here
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
The John Cena match now. And I'll be honest, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about it
I'll have to
because
roast my nigga Penta though. But go ahead.
the
Gotta roast my nigga Penta.
match itself was good. The finish was crazy. Like the finish felt like they were trying to successfully like do a whole bunch of crazy things at one time. I wouldn't say it felt flat, but like it was crazy. And I don't and it's like I hated the fact that they're starting to do this thing now where it's like and boy, Michael Cole, he was really playing it up too when they kind of did like the whole like, oh wait, John Cena, he's not gonna hit him in the head with the belt. Is John Cena having a change of heart? Have the fans started to finally get to him? Like,
Yeah, that
is
whack
he
ass
is
shit.
he
Yeah.
is he seeing the error of his ways?
Yeah, nah.
And I'm just like, oh, come on. It's that. So is this what we're at? Is this how we're doing? All right. Listen. Low key, I'm kind of over this whole Johnson.
Nah, nigga, you ain't about to do that. Nah, nigga, you ain't about to do that.
Bro,
Nah.
it has this John Cena heel turn has been a flop.
It
A
has,
whole flop. It flopped.
but the thing about it is I'm gonna still enjoy this
There's
tour
been
because if you're telling me this is the last time I'm seeing him, I'm just gonna let it cook.
listen, I think at this point, I think this whole thing would have been better if he was a babyface at this point. Like, sure, there's been some fun moments. Okay. There's been some small intrigue. But it's like at the end of the day, John Cena's not being booed. He's getting cheered. No one cares that he's trying to be this, oh, you got it's like a bad relationship, blah, blah, blah. Woe is me. I'm gonna do what I want now. Screw the fans. I don't care about you guys anymore. Like all of that stuff, like it's crazy to say. It feels fake. It's not, it's so forced, it's so processed. It's just
I think the way it's interesting to me now is like because now the conversation is who is going to dethrone Cena, who is going to take the belt from him, and I don't feel like it's going to be Cody at SummerSlam. It's not because he still has like
who,
what's
who, 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 who? Our truth is our truth going to become our champion?
a no, because nigga, no. Like
Of course,
I love
yes,
Raw
yes, of
Killings, but
course he's
nigga,
not
no.
because
No, nigga, no.
now we're completely ignoring the fact that he wants John Cena and he's in a program in a whole
Mhm.
situation with Aleister Black to completely
Apparently, that was a
distract the fact
one-off, apparently.
a one off. Did you not watch SmackDown when
I
Aleister Black came out
did.
there and kicked his fucking
Yeah.
head in?
But did you not see
Yeah,
Damian Priest now inject himself in? So it's definitely gonna be a program between Damian Priest and him, which is two goth niggas. One's bisexual
no, that's
Undertaker.
sure they're probably going to have a match, but our truth is also going to get his lick back for getting kicked in the fucking head.
I
He's
don't think he
driving now.
cares. I don't
Ron
think that
Killen is
nigga
driving.
cares.
What? So you really think the man who is saying "put respect on my name" is going to let another man come into the ring and kick him in the head
I
and
think
not
it would
follow up
be
with a receipt?
I think it would be short-lived because here's the thing. Maybe this is just I'm gonna because we're definitely need to get into the next part. I feel like if they do that, that's literally just making him a joke character again because the whole kick in the face thing literally made him a joke character again. Because it was like, yo, John Cena, come out here, da da da. And he turns around and get kicked in the face. Now you're making him a joke. You're not taking him
What if,
seriously now.
what if I told you?
Mm, don't do it, nigga. Don't do it.
Listen, he's about as a joke character as Goldberg winning the heavyweight title at the next show that's about to come up.
Go
And,
Bird.
so, so yeah. But I mean, I will say I did enjoy all of the screwy, flippity dippity do. Everybody coming out, it's the Avengers end game all over again and stuff like that. And John Cena, he's still a heel. And he's still the champion. And CM Punk lost. And now we're getting back into CM Punk and goddamn
Cena.
Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah, that program, yeah. Triple
Which
H loves that
is
program apparently.
I mean it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I prefer it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm over here at this like I just need Cody to go ahead and go to fucking Survivor's or SummerSlam and just take this goddamn belt. Like let's move on. Let's move on.
Mm,
Let's move on.
it's not gonna happen,
The
but
heel turn is garbage.
not gonna happen,
So you really think that John Cena is gonna leave out of here with the belt
I kind
undefeated?
of I kind of low key want it to happen.
But what does your heart tell you? What does
My
your wrestling mind tell you
my
is going to
wrestling
happen?
my wrestling mind tells
What is your
me
inner booker telling you right now?
my inner booker is telling me let Cena do it and cuz like a part of me knowing WWE may just make a new belt. I know, but it's just like
All right, so what's your video games?
no,
Because
no.
obviously you drinking some crazy ass Kool Aid right now. You should be glad that the way you got this set up, I can't see you because Lord knows you're probably doing some crazy hokey ass shit. Like, let's get into these games, bro. Let's get into the games because let's get into the games. You out here, you sound like somebody who says CEO. You must do the CEO dance with the way you talking.
Nigga,
You
I
must
just
believe you
told you
say
I don't do
Monet.
that shit. I don't like that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Um, but it's just me being a Cena fan. Come on, bro. You know that. I still gotta roast my nigga Penta. Penta, real quick. Why the fuck was you strutting down the fucking ramp? What was you doing, bro? Get to the business. Anyway,
What are you talking about? He's
uh,
got to get his shit in.
we're saying this more and more and more and more nowadays, and I hate it. Um, so since we're gonna top it off the show with the games, um,
Pause.
not as much of a pause as Jay Uso saying, Gunther coming behind me and the whole NY state. You saw that shit I sent you, right? Yeah. Everybody said pause on that nigga. Hey, you can't not say pause to that. Come on, my nigga. Come on.
Listen, sometimes you just walk into it on accident.
Hey yo, pause. So all right. So we're gonna go 10. And I'm gonna even actually do a thing is what you think my 10 is, and I'm gonna see what your 10 is. Just
Mm.
spitballing. Because I feel like it's just funny.
I'm not even
Um
gonna. I couldn't even begin to say what your 10 might be. It might your 10 probably might be one of the SmackDown versus Raws.
Nope.
It's not
Nope.
interesting.
That's what I'm saying. That's where the beauty comes in, bro. That's where the beauty comes in. So, you're 10. I'm gonna just spitball, and this. I'm not gonna go in too far into it. Just guess. I want to say your 10 is WrestleMania 2000.
Nope, didn't even make a list.
Damn, for real? It's crazy. Okay. Uh, go ahead, spitball. What you think my 10 is?
WCW versus
Nah,
NWO.
never played that game, so not even on the list.
Crazy. You never played that? Crazy.
I never really played it. Like I obviously played it, but I never played it to the magnitude of No Mercy type shit. You feel me?
So that game, because of the fact that it was literally just the WCW version of what like No
Yeah,
Mercy and
literally.
stuff was, what I enjoyed doing was I would go because I never had it. The only time I would play is when I would go to other people's houses and they'd have it
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
No Mercy.
yeah.
And so I always found it fun going there and like beating their ass in that game, and they'd be all like, "How are you so good at this game? You said you don't even have it." And it's like,
Because there's no mercy,
you know,
nigga. Oh
but
man. So your top 10. Well, what's your number 10?
well, my number 10 is SmackDown versus Raw 2007.
Wow, that's crazy because that is a higher number for me. All right.
Uh,
It's a higher.
only because number one, there's because there were better ones.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so that's your number 10. Do you have anything that, because I'm gonna have to talk about, might as well talk about, well, when I talk about '07, I might as well talk about '07 now. One of the biggest things that I loved about '07 is I missed when you bring up somebody to a hazard, like like the steel steps, and you and you can just slam their head.
Yeah, yeah, you have you could
Just time that shit.
because like you can bring them real high and boom, or you can just sit there.
Yes. And that's how you play like you specifically. I know you like mind gaming somebody because you used to do when we play
Because you
Here
had
Comes the
to,
Pain. Yeah, yeah.
had to. That
So
was the otherwise. That's the only way you're gonna get them W's. You gotta like you have to break the status quo of wrestling
mhm.
when
Playing
when you're
arcade
doing that
style.
shit.
Mhm.
Like I mean that game was it was good. It's just the fact that there were like literally just because there were other SmackDown versus Raws that were better. And it became very hard for me to figure out what because like there was a lot because I had damn near all of the SmackDown versus Raws.
Yeah.
And but there's a certain point, well, actually after the SmackDown versus Raws, when they just became like the 2K 2K11, 2K13, it's like I kind of those kind of sort of are like they kind of get clumped together, those particular ones, because like it's this because for a while it was like same game, new characters.
I like
Same
the
game,
menu for
new
7 though.
characters.
Because it had the shorties dancing on the menu. That was the top tier shit. You know what I'm saying? And you had to win. You had to spend your SmackDown money. You can make them even. I think in the lingerie too. Like as a kid,
Yes, you
you know,
could. Yeah,
yo,
you could buy like the newer things. You can buy like
eh,
the female load screens and stuff like that.
yeah, that's the
Like
same. As a kid, you
it had
shouldn't be
like
getting that
cool
shit.
locker had like the cool locker room shit and stuff like that. Like it this one definitely made the list because like I played that game a lot.
A lot, motherfucker. Yes,
Like I to the point where I was like I was good at that.
yes.
It had GM mode, but it didn't have but it wasn't as good of a GM mode. And
Um.
but it did have some but it
Oh.
was but this was when it was like this game was almost peak creative wrestling.
Mhm,
almost peak.
mhm.
But yeah,
Um,
that's my number 10.
so number 10, you're not I don't know if you actually remember this one. Um, Ultimate Muscle.
I do.
Ult
But I had never
Yes.
played it though.
You watched me play it, I think. It was Ultimate Muscle, Legends and New Generation, and I remember I had this when I used to live in I think it was Oviedo? Yeah, it was Oviedo, 'cause mm, yeah, it was Oviedo. Cause I remember that time I had Here Comes the Pain and the game broke and I had to walk 4 hours to a GameStop just to get it. And it was so bad that I was walking to the GameStop and then I was walking home finally. A couple saw me and was like, "Bro, we saw you like from back Fort. Do you need a ride home?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I shouldn't have gotten in the car with strangers, but I did. But it was a couple, so they drove me
It was a
back to my
different
house.
it was a different time.
Yeah, it was a different time.
You could
Um,
actually trust people to give you a ride back
yeah,
then.
so I had both those games, Here Comes the Pain and Ultimate Muscle, and Ultimate Muscle was so fun to me as a kid.
I
Um,
remember it being cool. Freaking that
yeah,
goddamn Mexican stretch buster.
Mexican stretch butter. Yes, that was a good part of my childhood. I never got to really get good at that game. It was really tough for me, but I can always put it down as one of my favorites. It was top 10, so I had to put that in there. So, top 10, that was Ultimate Muscle for me. What is your number 9? Number
Number
9.
9, Rumble
Oh,
Roses.
oh my God. What am I doing?
Oh, here we
Oh
go.
no.
Here we
Oh,
go.
my
Here
list.
we go.
Oh
I knew it was
no.
gonna happen.
No.
I, I knew it was gonna happen to you first too. I don't know why, but I knew it was coming. Yep,
No!
Rumble Roses.
Oh, you gotta
See,
be
now
kidding
your
me.
list isn't even valid no more. Look at
Ah,
you. Look at you.
shit.
Look at
No.
you.
Oh, man. Ah.
Freaking listen, from how you can hear him sound right now and whatnot, and how I can only imagine. Listen, Rumble Roses was such a game. All
God
female
damn it.
wrestlers, some fantastically unique Dr. Cutter, Anastasia,
Oh.
Dixie, like
Dixie Clements, yeah.
these
Rika,
like goddamn, and then
the dope
the
entrances.
yeah, the entrances, the wonderful theme songs that they had, like that game
What you
was
did
solid.
for me, I'm so grateful. It's oh my
Mhm.
God,
Listen, goddamn Anastasia, I see
you
you.
can't believe
I
to
say this
me.
literally. I say this to this day, especially since I work at a hospital. Every time I walk past, I'm like, I see you, and I see you. I'm like,
Oh
ugh.
no, come on. Oh my God. Yeah, I
Well, looks
fumbled the
like you gotta
bag.
do your list over.
Fumbled the bag.
It's not fumble.
Fumbled the bag. Fumbled the
It was
bag
like, and the
completely.
thing was, the way that the wrestling mechanics worked, it was like it played like SmackDown versus Raw,
It really
and Here Comes
did.
the Pain.
It really did.
Like it was solid. It was
And then the
absolutely solid
humiliation
game.
matches too. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes, it was
Fuck.
great game.
Fuck. I definitely fumbled. Mine was WrestleMania 19.
Got it. Okay,
Cause I
okay,
used to love that segment where you was like wrestling in the mall, you're wrestling in the harbor, all that shit. Like I love that game mode because it wasn't like your normal wrestling game mode. And I remember I spent days, damn near months playing it for that mode and enjoying the GameCube version of
you can
how
literally yeah, I remember that you because I never had WrestleMania 19,
I always had it, yeah.
but I played it at your spot. And
Yep.
that was the first game where like if you cheated the system, you can make females bleed.
Yes.
you can bust women open.
Mm,
There was like
I
some
remember that.
weird thing that you could do, and you can bust women open. Like that
Mhm.
game was like the kind of sort of like had a better like the way you
The
can create
realism.
entrances on that game were crazy.
Oh, that actually was where I think it kind of started for games nowadays because yes, the entrance capability, which I've also had a moment of thinking about if I ever made a wrestling game or something like that. But yes, the entrance capability was top tier. The creatability was top tier. I just
It was
always
good.
I just always missed whenever you got a special and you just burst out in the special. You had a time limit of you could just hit any fucking special as many times as you wanted to. I love that format of specials because oh, I'm gonna hit you with the face fronting one. I'm gonna hit you with the people's elbow now. I'm gonna hit you with the fucking top rope one. I can hit you with whatever the fuck I wanted to when that special happened because you had the moment to do it. And that's where No Mercy was such a good fucking game because
Yeah, it had that. It had
it
that
just
bit too.
yeah, because it's just that should be how wrestling is. If you have a stored one, okay, maybe one stored one, but like in a moment where a clothesline out of clothesline from hell out of nowhere could be good as a stored special, but just like I'm hyped now. Everything should be coming out. That's why that was one of the reasons why I liked
And
19.
another thing that I like about the WrestleMania games, because I know 19 also could do it, was the
Mhm.
fact that like you can do your moves into other people.
Oh yes, you can hit other people. So if I hit you with
You
a
can
jackhammer.
interrupt a move. You can
Oh,
save
man, I
some from
hated that
you can
shit.
save someone from getting
I
a special done to them.
hated that
Like,
shit, bro. Oh my god. For arcade play, it was annoying as shit. You playing against like three of your homies, and you're like, "Oh man, you gonna hit the pedigree on me?" Nah, nigga, spear.
nope. Or even worse, you hit your special, and if the other person's too close, they get hit by the special too.
Or if you're trying to hit a jackhammer and I see you doing, I could just hit one, just punch and just stop it. That's like, oh, you dick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
oh,
if I was playing with someone like Croc and I just do a close line from hell, I hit everybody in the ring.
yes, yes,
However,
yes.
that also used to backfire on me because I expect like in a table. I have lost table matches
Eliminated.
because I did a clothesline from hell or I did a spear and I went for the table myself because I
Eliminated.
just missed. And so
That was
yeah, that was
WrestleMania. Was that 18? That was 18 one where you the really
18.
weird, the really weird
So
one.
WrestleMania 18 is actually my next one.
No
So
way, that's your 9?
no. My
Oh.
9 was Rumble Roses. My
Oh yeah, I'm
8
sorry, that's
is
8. 8 number 8. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
9 was Rumble Roses. WrestleMania 18 is my number 8, which
Mm.
because we already talked about it, my number 7 is WrestleMania 19.
Ah, okay, I fucks with you. I fucks with you. I didn't know it was that high of a
But I
category for you. That's
wait, what?
crazy. I didn't know it was that high of a category for you. That's really great. I didn't know
It
that
was
introducing that
because
game was that good for you.
I liked that game and I wanted it. I just couldn't get my hands on it. I would have
Damn.
easily jumped to WrestleMania 19
Mhm.
after getting WrestleMania 18, but I
Mhm.
just money wasn't working the way that we wanted it to back
Yeah,
then.
as a kid, yeah, yeah.
And so it was like I just played the absolute hell out of WrestleMania 18.
Yeah, bro,
Like,
you played the fuck out that shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was your
oh yeah,
that was another one
yeah.
of those games where like where Here Comes the Pain was one, 18 was one that it was just like, oh, we're all gonna play a wrestling game together as a group, and we're all doing not tag matches, we're doing free for alls. It was like, fuck, I gotta go against Jay. God damn it.
Listen,
Like,
me and my boy Kyle used to play that game like crazy. Every
nigga,
Friday,
yes.
almost every Friday, I'd get out of school, go to his grandma's house where they have just the nicest, cleanest game room, and we would just WrestleMania 18 and Animal Crossing. And yeah, that was the thing. And
So
so
since you technically gave two, you said 7 and 8. So
Yeah, 18 was my 8, number 7 was 19.
2000 WrestleMania 2000 was my number 8. Mainly because I used
Okay.
to love the theme songs. The way the Titantron and theme songs were, like I'd still to this day, I have a playlist on YouTube just of the WrestleMania theme songs because I just
Wow.
loved how, yeah, I just loved how they play back in the day. And there were times I would just sit there and sometimes just watch the Titantron, especially the Rocks, like the Rock Titantron and just how the repetitiveness of it. I like repetitive things. I found out that I don't know what it's called, but I have a habit of if I like something so much, I will listen to it all day, and it's the song of the day. Like a perfect example, I remember when Joji came out with Glimpse of Us, that song. That song when it first came out, 2 days straight, it was the only thing I listened to. I swear to God, it was on a repeat. And that same
I
thing
do the
happened
same thing.
same
I
thing happened with
definitely
me yesterday with Swerve Strickland's theme song. Everything I did was top rope, catch a vibe, catch a like that was me all day yesterday, nigga. Everywhere I went, everything I did. I even did it on Snapchat where there was a moment I pulled up to a boba shop. I had to do the fucking thing where he puts his hand on his head and his forehead, and I just it was just hit. Everything was just hitting Swerve Strickland. And that's what the WrestleMania themes were for me, the Titantrons for me. The game itself was okay. Fucking playing its career mode sucked dick because everybody was hard as fuck.
they
Hard as
really were.
fuck.
They really were.
So tough. So difficult to go against. And playing certain matches is like, oh, I'm going against Test. Even going against somebody like Test, Viscera was like, yo, fuck, why is this hard? So I love the nature of that game and its music. Number 7, was SmackDown 1.
Okay.
SmackDown 1. Mainly because of the menu music. Love the menu music. Love the career mode. And still to this day, the fucking cutscene song forever will be one of the best cutscene songs, and it will stay in my head. The anytime you're walking, doon 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 doon, like that one cannot that shit chokehold, nigga. That shit is a chokehold on me for the rest of my life. I will
That's funny.
never let that song go. I It was to the point where if you search anything SmackDown 1 related music, background music, that song in any playlist on YouTube does not exist. I have to literally find gameplay footage, find a loop, make the loop, and make it a reality. That's how much that song was for me. I needed it that much. I had to make it for myself. That's how bad it was.
Interesting.
So that clip I made for you, like whenever I was really popping on TikTok, I had started those like cutscene moments. I literally had to create the
You
loop
had to create that
just
loop.
to have it. Yes, just to
That's
have
great. That's kinda lit though. I know,
it.
but it's also interesting that, like, was that it did not that which just means the fact that you're, like, the only one. Unless you just randomly post it on YouTube and just see what people say,
You know what? Because
and then
people do
find
that,
out
yeah.
that there's, like, a small subsect of people who've been like, "I've been looking for this for so
But the
long."
thing about it is the song actually has more than just that loop. There are moments where if you I guess if there's a backstage segment that allows it, there's an extra part to it. And that's the part
Ah.
I've yet to hear. So it's a full song. It's not just that loop. There's something else to it. And I've heard it. And I'm like, I want to hear the full fucking song. Just like the S.A. Rios theme song back in the day. Remember how S.A. Rios, you could find it on YouTube and it was like the dun, da da dun, and it would cut there and it would just be a trash loop every time.
True, true.
So, but now the song doesn't have the trash loop anymore. You can go on Spotify and hear the whole fucking song now. And but a part of me still remembers the loop, and you're like, wait, the loop's not there anymore. Oh, this is different. I hear the whole song now. So I don't know if a part of me is like, if I ever hear the full song, would I actually be satisfied? Would I be like, oh, Actually, the loop is okay.
Yeah, yeah. At that point, I guess you gotta find SmackDown.
We don't know.
Which who
But
knows where that game's at now?
oh yeah. So number 6. Let me guess what your number 6 is real quick. I'm hoping it's probably is it WWF Attitude?
No, it is
Damn.
not.
Damn, what is it?
Uh, it's SmackDown versus Raw 2010,
A good one.
which
A good
SmackDown
one.
versus Raw 2010 was I to me when it came to that lineup, that was peak. The only
Mhm,
thing it was
mhm.
missing was if it would have actually had what's the if it had GM mode. But at this point I think GM mode was gone. But in 2010 that was when you didn't have to go online and do the caw.com, which I used to love that site.
Oh
Um
man,
this
oh my
was
god, the website was top tier, bro. Top tier
top
website.
tier.
Golly, bro. Rest in
This
peace to
was
that.
this was when you the first time you could actually download created wrestlers was when
Yeah.
was for 2010. 2010 was like peak created wrestler stuff.
Mhm, mhm,
Like
mhm.
that was when they gave you like I think it was I want to say it was actually more than 50. Like it was in like 2010 or maybe it might have been the
Oh
next one.
yeah, because the
Whereas
creative
like
slots were out at 25 for like the longest.
for a very long time, and then it jumped to 30, and then it went to
Mhm.
50 for a little
Mhm,
while.
mhm, mhm.
But it was like, but this was also when you could create a logo, or if you want, like you could
Mm.
create a logo or create your own tattoos and all this other stuff. So people's creative
Wasn't that the one you
abilities
could
was
also create your own taunt? There was one you can create a
yes.
taunt.
Yeah, you can create a taunt, you can create your finishing move, you can do a you can create an off the top rope finishing move.
Mhm,
People jump
mhm.
in freaking people jump in jump up and exorcist in the middle of the air and just some of the weirdest jankiest shit I've ever seen. Like,
I'm just looking
oh
at the
yeah.
gameplay on it. I'm like, I'm trying to remember, like, wasn't it the first to do slow-mo too? No, yeah, it was the first to do slow-mo. Yo, actually, I remember that. Because remember, it wasn't the spin ones, but like you could slow-mo and the lights would dim, and then boom, you hit yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
SmackDown
Got it.
versus Raw 2010 was
Mm-hmm.
a very special time, and that was honestly when VTCW was created, like officially.
Okay.
Because I think, although I think in the games preceding it, that was when you could then create your own arena stuff.
Mm,
And that's when it really got cooking. I could
mm,
not
mm,
find which one was the one that I want to say it might have been SmackDown versus Raw 2013,
mm,
where like making a federation was like hitting its peak before it did its unfortunate fall off into foolishness. But
yeah.
but yeah, that's my that's my one right now.
Well, mine was attitude. WWF attitude. A lot of this was more so nostalgic for me. It was something about like it wasn't great gameplay. It wasn't like the best gameplay ever, but it was something about back in the day when we used to play that game. Did I ever tell you I actually had an absolute fear for one of the theme songs? Like as a child, I actually was terrified of the da-na-na, da-na-na-na, on your
Oh
knees.
god.
For some reason, that song back in my childhood terrified me. No lie. Looking back at it, I'm like, what was so terrifying about it? And I don't know if it was like, good old Christian boy, terrified type shit. I don't know what it was, but it was something about it was like, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear that. I just couldn't do it. And I listen to it now as like, oh shit, on your knees. Yeah, what's up? Popping. Let's get it going.
I remember that game being kind of cool, but like at that time I was really bad at doing like the button mash commands, so it's like I never could do any moves. Like I never did a
Mm,
finishing move.
I mean, that's why I'm good at fighting games because I did all that shit, no problem. All that
Like
shit
it
was no
was
problem.
yeah, it didn't work for me too great.
Mhm.
I would just fill up my brother's creative slots with the Kane universe.
I will also say another reason why I enjoyed it is because of the entrances having talking capabilities, like D'Lo Brown's "You're the one who sucks, punk, not me," and it does the dumbass neck walk and shit. Like that was good. Jerry King's fucking entrance was good because he would just roast the entire fucking audience. Love that. We had Head as a playable character. What the fuck? It was just that game was wacky. It was so interesting and
Definitely
whoever
wacky.
very wacky. Somehow they still made the fucking Gangrel entrance dope. It was very nostalgic for me. The childhood in me loved that game. Even though it wasn't that great of a game, it was still like, man, remember the blood mechanics on that game was stupid too. Like that, well, it was stupid as in like it was realistic too. Like if I hit you in the arm with a barbed wire bat, blood was on
Yeah,
your
you
arm
would
too.
you could actually bleed in random spots on your body. Your arm will
Yeah,
bleed,
like
chest.
ankle,
You can
leg.
bloody your leg. Yeah, it was
It
some
was really
interesting
fun.
things.
Really,
Those
really
that
fun.
I remember as a kid, like I could never get a grasp on that game. That
Mm,
Attitude and Warzone. Like I never was
Warzone,
able to
no,
get a
Warzone.
good
No, no.
I could never get a good grasp on the game to like I could play it enough where I can, get a little far in like the
Mhm.
actual um like the story mode and stuff like that. But
Never
there was a
completed.
point like yeah, I never I never won a belt, you know what I'm saying? So I would just
Yeah.
sit there and however, outside of the rainbow colors of canes that I used to make, just because that outfit was there.
Mhm.
I did create my first ever character, whose name was Killer. That was my first created character from off that game.
History, lore. Getting good loot here from Swag Switcher. Okay. Um,
Getting good.
so what was your number 5? In fact, let me guess real quick. Um, actually, no, I'm not gonna guess on that. That's tough. That's tough. Go ahead.
So my number 5 was straight up SmackDown versus Raw,
The original? Okay. Okay. Okay.
the original.
When it comes, there you go. The more that you're thinking, yeah, that was the that intro to that game. Like I miss good intros to wrestling games because those would be like, man, you pop the game in, you see the intro, and if that shit didn't make you fucking want to play it, throw it in the garbage.
This one, like this game was great because which is funny because like for the reasons why people didn't like it are the exact reasons why I loved it. Like because
Which
like
ones?
SmackDown versus Raw.
No, no, I'm
So
saying like,
like
what was it? What was about they didn't like?
people did not like the fact that they kind of slowed down the game, that slowed down the pace of the game.
Mm,
And I'm like, no, that made it better. I like the slower pace because it felt more
yeah,
real, kind of
yeah.
thing. And so, like, I love that it slowed down. They slowed the pace down a bit. This was when you first could actually create your own belts and everything. Like, they these like there were certain quality of life things I like, and this was also like at this point we're getting more refined on Create a Wrestler because during this time of era of wrestling game, I was hooked on creating wrestlers.
Same,
And
same.
so and it was like going from Here Comes the Pain, where like the creative wrestlers were like really goofy and stuff like that. SmackDown versus Raw, if I'm not mistaken, I think it actually it was like the beginning introductions of like you have your entrance gear and you have your
Oh
wrestling.
yeah, yeah. I think that was. Yeah, you didn't always just wore the same shit.
Yeah, so, like,
Yeah.
that became a thing, so it's like, now my creative wrestlers are starting to get more personality and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and
Mhm.
now at this point,
More
because
swagger.
for a long time, I just did not create myself on the wrestling game, I didn't like it, or
Yeah,
at least I never
there were
liked
certain
how it
games,
looked.
yeah.
Like, I did not create myself like, after No Mercy, I did not create myself on a wrestling game until, like,
10?
Here Comes the Pain.
Mm.
Here Comes the Pain, was, like, the first time I really started, like, creating myself as a wrestler. I think at the very tail end of Shut Your Mouth, I did,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but that was, like, as we were transitioning to Here Comes the Pain. Here Comes the
Yeah.
Pain was when I finally started actually creating myself type thing. But I know what was I about to say? Oh, no, actually that's actually that's later on. Never mind. Never mind. But yeah,
So,
that's mine.
my number 5, you once I tell you, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, Saturday Night Slam Masters."
Okay,
Yeah,
that checks.
that's a given for me because that is literally the game that I grew up on. I remember that if you remember the arcade that was nearby my house where interestingly enough, Antonio lives in that same area now. So where Antonio lives, remember that arcade that we used to go to where they had the 50-cent hot dogs?
Oh, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, it's a deep cut. So that arcade was I think some is where that skating rink at, and there was a Hooters there. I lived in that
Yeah.
complex next to it. So it's like when I went to Antonio's house and I was like, "Oh shit, this is a flashback for me because this is where that arcade was." And I lived in that complex in the back. So that's where I first
Bro,
got introduced
I barely remember that though.
because it was very, very brief. It was very brief. Very brief.
I
Um,
was like, ooh, I it's so fuzzy, but
mhm, mhm.
I can recall.
Actually, the reason why is because mom lived there when I was still living in North Carolina. So I never technically lived there. I was visiting mom that summer. And that
Gotcha.
summer, you came over to hang out. We would go to that arcade, so we weren't really in the house. So,
Now is that the place that had is that the spot that had, like, the long ass stairway to get to the
yeah, to her apartment.
yeah. Like, you would
Yeah,
walk in, and then you have to go up, like, a 20 flight stairs to get to the top floor?
yeah. That was it. That
Okay.
was it. Damn, wow, that was really fuzzy in my head for a second. Yeah, that was it. Um, because we had to walk everywhere with that. So I had to walk. I would ask my mom to take me to the arcade. She's like, "No, you can fucking walk there." Being a fat ass at the time, not one to walk. Still a fat ass anyway. But so she we would walk there and she would give me like I think she gave me like 20, maybe like $30. I would go play all the games. I would get all the hot dogs and shit that I wanted or whatever. Fuck. And that was also where I got introduced to Tekken 5. And my journey with Tekken became too. But that arcade itself was the introduction to Saturday Night Slam Masters. And I was like, wait, Street Fighter and fucking wrestling? Where the fuck was this at? So you knew me as a Street Fighter kid. That was just my shit. So now you introduce this game to me. And the game, it didn't have a lot to it. It didn't have a huge story. It was just the idea of taking two of my favorite worlds together and just making it a game. And that's where I started growing into that desire of like, why is this not a thing now? Why is Capcom not making this a thing now? Why have we not made another one of these? And that's where the Saturday Night Slam Masters show for me came to fruition.
With the CA dubs.
Yep, CA dubs. Yep. Ah, so that was 5 for me. 4 for you.
So now we're getting to the nitty-gritty stuff here.
Yeah, the real
Number
deal.
4, which was a hard choice to figure, but number 4 ended up being Here Comes the Pain.
No fucking way. Holy
Number 4 is
shit. This is throwing me off now. I'm ready to hear these number ones.
Here
All
come
right.
and we've talked about Here Comes the Pain. Everything about Here Comes the Pain
Absolutely.
is fantastic and great. And
Absolutely.
but as well as things where the game that comes up as my number 3,
Mm,
there's a very specific key reason why it became number 3 over Here Comes the Pain.
okay.
But yeah,
All right.
we don't have to. I don't even have to. We The world knows why Here Comes the Pain is one of the greatest wrestling games
We
of
all
all
know
time.
that. We don't gotta fucking talk about that shit. We don't gotta talk about that shit.
I don't got to beat the dead horse on that one.
Nah. That is that. But I'm gonna be so I'm gonna be curious if it's if the game I'm about to say is even in your list. Def Jam Fight for New York. It's my number 4.
Mm. I'm
It's a
actually
wrestling
glad
game.
it's in your list because I question if it should have been in my list. It
It
is.
is. I'm about to say, nigga.
No, no, no.
Um,
It's in there.
the thing about it is, I was very debating on if it was number 3 because my number 3, and for anybody who doesn't know Def Jam Fight for New York, you're living in a fucking rock. Get the fuck up. Um, but Def Jam Fight for New York, it was really pushing it for 3 or 2 for me. It's really
Okay.
pushing it because number 3 for me was SmackDown vs. Raw 7. That was my number 3. And
Mm,
mainly because of the thing we were just talking about, what made it such a wrestling game. But the only thing that made it better for me is because it was still WWE. So it was still that echelon of the wrestling game that we know. But Fight for New York it was hood. It was hood as fuck. And
100%.
I just wish it had more to it afterwards. Like, yeah, you played the story
It
mode.
it did not have great replay value,
That's what I'm saying. Like, it
which
would have
was
made
unfortunate.
number 3 or almost 2 if it had great replay value. And
Which is
but
fair.
that was my 3 and 4. So you can go ahead with your 3 now.
So my 3 is SmackDown versus Raw '06, and the reason why '06 beats '07
Hmm.
is because '06 GM mode was perfect.
Mm.
'06 GM mode was so perfect. In '07, they tried to add these extra elements to it
Mhm,
that
mhm,
to me kind of made it lose some of its feeling. Like it
mhm,
made it feel
mhm,
like it was too um man, what the it it felt more railroaded. Like,
mhm.
if you do this and then you do this, this is what your result's going to be. As where with the other one, it just felt more unpredictable kind
Mm.
of thing.
Oh, yeah, this
And
was the really hard GM mode. Yeah, this was the really hard one.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, it felt more. It was more challenging and like it felt like it got more crazier. As where the other one, it got too structured, and it's one of those things like with '06 as like as far as like graphics wise and the gameplay
Mhm.
wise, '06 and '07 are almost interchangeable outside of the fact that like as the games went on, it got better
Ooh,
creative
yeah, the
stuff.
money cost for yeah. Honestly, you swag, you've always been that. And I'm surprised as much as you've gotten into wrestling or stuff like that. Why have you never thought about getting into booking?
Because I have to find a way into wrestling, and as of right now, the
Mm,
only way I can get into wrestling is becoming a wrestler in my mind.
mm,
I have not found the
mm.
door. I haven't found the booking door. I would love to be a booker. That'd be great. I'd do that with a heartbeat.
I feel like as much as you play GM mode, as much as you talk about GM mode, I feel like if you hang, I'm not gonna say who your connection is, but you know what your connection is. I feel like if you hung around that connection enough to be around that echelon of people and see like how can you get your foot in, I feel like dude, you'd be really like detailed into that. Like that would be like your lane. And plus, as a booker, you have so much longevity in the industry. Cause say, yeah, you're 34 now. I mean, you could be doing this shit in your 50s. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, you really just gotta get your foot in the door, dude. You
I
really
just
do.
I just I have not well, I gotta find the door. That's where I'm at when it comes to that. Because I
Mm-hmm.
would,
I think
but
it's because we
I gotta
don't
find the
know.
door.
I think we don't know who to start. Cause like with the world of wrestling, you know what it takes to do it, but like because there's no like job applications or blah blah blah, like they do it within, right? So you just don't know how to start. Cause like even for us as
It's a who you know kind of business found.
yeah, it really is. Really is. So I feel like that's a deep dive for another day. But number two and number one. Oh
So,
man.
well, I'll tell you what my number two is. And my number two was Def Jam Vendetta.
Damn.
Specifically Fight for
Mm,
New York.
mm,
My number two was
mm.
Fight for New York because what wrestling could not give me, Def Jam did. And
That
that
hood.
was the the attire. Like I literally on Def Jam made me. I
Bling the
looked
fuck
like
up.
myself. I had the jewelry, like the visual of it all was spot on as far as like my created character, and then just playing the game, because though the game did not have like as far as like great replay value content,
Mhm.
I would just replay the game and just fight people over and over and over again because I loved seeing my freaking blinged out self and these wild ass moves that you could do on that game.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And once again, it always goes down to that I, I love the swag and I love the cool factor. And if I can make myself look as cool and as swagged out as I can, the game is a dub. And Def Jam did that for me almost more than any wrestling game until we started getting into like the later wrestling games. But
Mm,
with that though, just the overall presentation, the music, and then like the actual like the story in and itself in the game was also fantastic and fun. Like it was out of it is one of those games that it had no flaws. And
it really didn't.
then they made the new one and they put
And
a
it
whole bunch
yeah,
of flaws into it.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like
yeah. They
you
lost
had the formula right.
get this real quick. Just they lost the foundation.
Yeah. No, that's solid.
Just imagining to opening up your game because it always was this for me because I made that
It
playlist.
was always that
Anytime,
song.
yeah, you
That
always
was
open it. The foundation. You just
and
open
they'll go
the
to then
game.
after that be another song.
Yeah, every time.
But that was the opening track.
Sticky Fingers, by the way, guys, for anybody who doesn't know, Sticky Fingers Man Up, that was the song. And still to this day, we used to at one point just shout that shit out, just the foundation and randomly, any moment. Um, so number two for me actually was Here Comes the Pain. Here Comes the Pain was number two for me. I feel like I don't know I feel like obviously it was you that introduced it to me, but whereas No Mercy, no WrestleMania 2000 was introduced to be by a friend of mine named Keith back in the day. Here Comes the Pain was the game that was like it was both of us because we've had games where okay you played I played Day of Reckoning. I know I played Day of Reckoning. You didn't play Day of Reckoning that much. You didn't play WrestleMania 19 that much because you didn't really have it. And
I didn't have it.
you had 18. I didn't have 18. So there were certain games that where one of us was dominant in the other area because we both either had the game ourselves. Here Comes the Pain was the game that we both had it at the same time, at the same place, and we were both in that playing field of playing the fuck out of it. So that's why it was number two
The
for me.
so many hours put into that game.
Nigga, my nigga. Like if Steam if Steam was a thing back in the day and it could show how many hours we put in it
Oh
because
boy.
nigga,
Oh my
nigga,
god.
nigga. If
Nine
Steve
nine
was
nine nine nine. Like
probably. Ooh, so I already know what our number one is, so we might as well. I was wondering how many handshakes we would get in this, but it's already known what we're gonna say number one is. And if your number one is not this, I think we might have to end the friendship right here. just just cut this shit off. Sorry, podcast is done, guys. Last episode. But we could both say it's No Mercy.
Rumble Roses XX.
I will kick you in your fucking chest, nigga. Don't play with me, bro. Play with me, bro. I swear to God.
Legends of it. Your number one's not Legends of Wrestling. Like what?
Bitch ass motherfucker. You play with me, bro. All Star
Not
WWE All Stars.
superstars. All
WrestleFest is a
actually
good one though.
not number one worthy, but
No. It was a good one though. It was actually one of my if we did the whole like nominations, runner ups or whatever, uh WrestleFest was definitely on there, and then WWF Raw and all the SNES games. But hands down, No Mercy. I don't think there's any wrestling fan from coming up from the 90s that would not put this on their top. Like this number one.
listen, No Mercy is so great that it you could turn on No Mercy right now, and from a creative standpoint, you could make all the wrestlers who are on No Mercy look like what they look like right now. Like the last time I played, I know I had Unmasked Kane on there, which unmasking Kane on that game was fun because he just had this black
Blackface.
face.
Yes.
No, on WrestleMania 2000, he had the black face.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. No, he had
where
blank face where it was like,
but he had like
no
this
eyes.
weird, like, yeah, this weird meshed out face type
Mm-hmm.
situation. But I know, like, if I put my No Mercy in right now, I know I got House of Pain Mark Henry on there because I gave him the braids. Um,
Mm.
let me see who else. I think I got Tank Top Kane on there, but no mask. I changed a couple of people. And I also think, and the coolest thing that I remember we discovered, the beginning of like when you play the intro, like, because
Yeah.
games don't have intros anymore. But
Yeah.
when you do that, when you watch the intro of No Mercy, if you go into the game and change what those people are wearing in the intro, it would
Yes.
reflect. And so I remember we
Yes.
completely edited our No Mercy where it
And
was
didn't
just
know.
our created wrestlers.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I remember that now. Okay. I
We
totally remember
had
that shit now.
because we had Sonic and Tails and they were the Hardy
Mm-hmm.
Boys. Or
Mm-hmm.
Sonic and
Mm-hmm.
Knuckles was the Hardy Boys. We had Tails, he was Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Uh you
We
because
had
you
TJ. We had
changed a
TJ and
couple of
TM.
times.
We had TJ and TM on there too. Yeah.
I know I took the Rock's place, but like
Yes.
I you
I was
there
Stone
was a
Cold.
time where you was Triple H, and I think
Oh
and later
yeah.
on but I think later on you switched to being taking Stone Cold's
No.
place.
I was definitely Stone Cold first in Triple H because that's when I started making the pedigree my signature for in every game.
Uh, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, then
yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, because yeah, it would. Oh, watch the intro was so fun. It was so great.
Yes.
And it's funny
Yes.
because I think like now I want to find my No Mercy to see like what the intro looks like because I know I like changed people. So,
I
boy, I
wanna
was
I wanna put down that how No Mercy is it is literally the best wrestling game of all time. It is a game that is still being modified to this day. They modify it for every roster on the main roster to this day. There's still mods going on where people are Roman Reigns now. People are fucking Cody Rhodes. They're even doing an old Federation version. There is a mod where it's literally old school WWF, but No Mercy mechanics. It is the only wrestling game that's still being done to this day, and Matt will tell you why it's such a good game. Shit,
Facts.
AEW literally tried to make a game based on the mechanics of that game and failed because it's that good of a fucking game.
Yeah, we don't want we don't talk about how they screwed on that.
Yeah, actually, I found out that AEW's game is actually in a video of the worst wrestling games of all time, and I was like, "Damn, nigga, is it that bad? I ain't never play it, but damn."
Fully earned. That's all I can say
Nigga,
on that.
you and your AEW hate, my nigga. I swear to God. Anyway, guys, what are your top 10 wrestling games of all time? We would love to hear it in the comment section. Thank you again for tuning in to the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. If you haven't yet, please watch us on or listen to us on all streaming platforms. We are on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you're getting your daily podcast, guys. We are here where the ring is sacred, the questions are difficult, but the destruction is always guaranteed. Any final thoughts, Swag Switcher, before we head out to this lovely, lovely evening and come up to the next episode?
Um, no, the only actually I do have one final thought,
Oh, go ahead.
and that is I really need AEW to make me want to spend money to watch this fucking pay-per-view.
Me and Matt are actually doing that. If you want to come over, we're gonna split the pay-per-view. And we just gonna watch it on that Sunday.
Oh, I might actually take you up on that
Yeah, because
because I
I'm
do want
doing
to
a
see it, but at the same time, it's like they have not made me want it. So I need them to they need to do something this week that's going to be like boom, because if this is what they consider the WrestleMania lead up to their WrestleMania of shows, ass.
So I fucked up and I'm actually doing a friend thing on the day of the pay-per-view, which Matt was like, "You're doing a friends gathering on that night." And I was like, "Oh shit, it is on All In."
What a shame.
Well, I guess it's not that important to me. So we said Sunday, the next day, where we're gonna, cook up something and watch it then. So we just
But
gotta make sure we
listen,
don't watch
that
Twitter.
good luck. Well, I mean,
Mm,
you don't have to
social
worry about the
media.
wrestling. You don't have to worry about the wrestling chat because they don't give a fuck about the AEW. But hey,
Damn. That's crazy.
it is what it is.
But yeah, if you want
Their
to that
words,
Sunday,
not
you
mine.
can. Well, what should we do? Should we do a podcast? We should do the episode live there because I'll have. What I'll do is I'll even do the setup that we've been originally talking about. We just sit on the couch and just shoot the shit and watch the pay-per-view
Sure. I mean,
because it's
we
on
can
that
give it a
Sunday.
shot.
Yeah.
We can we can give it a shot. Although, let me also make sure I'm not
You're right.
overbooking because
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
get back to it.
I'm very spontaneous like
We'll
that. I
wrap
mean,
up
shit.
that.
After this, I'm gonna be cooking up a storm. But um, final thoughts again, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, choke slam that like button and tombstone that subscribe button. Shit, you can do both of them. I'm trying to do the things that everybody else do. They be saying super kicks. They be saying slam. Fuck that shit. Choke slam that shit. One hand choke slam. All right.
Listen, choke slam to subscribe and tombstone that and what was the no
I said choke
choke
slam the
slam the
like button.
like. Choke
Mm-hmm.
slam the like and tombstone to subscribe. I like it.
Yes.
I actually like
Yes.
that one. Yes. Solid. Good one. Good
All
one.
right. Until next time, guys, have a good one. We will see you on the next episode. Goodbye.